So let's bring in the co-sponsor of the bill, Congresswoman Pat Cammack, a Republican out of Florida. Thank you for your time and good morning to you. We'll see how many questions we can get through here. Don't know if it passes in the Senate once it makes its way through the House, which we expect probably this hour. President Biden says he would sign it, but his campaign just signed up for it. What is the best outcome of this at the moment, do you think?
Well, good morning to you both. And, I think we are going to see it pass in the House of Representatives. As you laid out, there is going to be some difficulties in the Senate. And that is in large part due to the massive lobbying effort, which is currently breaking records for the millions of dollars that are going into special interests and lobbyist groups, telling lawmakers that they need to keep the Chinese Communist Party having access to Americans' data. But I think that that's the reality that, we're seeing this not as a Republican or Democrat issue. We're not seeing this in any other lens than this is an American issue. This is a threat to United States national security. And there is no constitutional concerns in my mind, because as a constitutional conservative, this is not a bill of attainder. This is just saying, we don't want you to have access to Americans' data unfettered. I wouldn't want my government to have unfettered access. Why would we let the CCP?
All right, so to me, it seems like a commonsensical thing to say, just divest, then the app continues. Like, that seems like a simple thing. Why is TikTok fighting back so hard then?
It's interesting, Dana, and I've told people this is not a ban. It's just not. And I know that we have a literacy crisis in this country, but it's only 10 pages. I think if people took the time to sit down and read it, they would see that it's just a divestment. And you have to be a foreign adversary, which is actually defined in U.S. code and statute. It is not something that you can take on an American company. That's where some of the commentary I've been hearing. But the thing that is really concerning is that the CCP, the foreign minister, and the Politburo has come out and said that they would rather see us ban TikTok, in their words, not ours, than to divest. And I thought that their responsibility as a company, talking about ByteDance, was to their shareholders. They stand to make billions of dollars through a divestment. But instead, this seems like the Chinese government is more concerned with having unfettered access. So I think the writing is on the wall. People are wondering if this is all about the money. They stand to make a ton of money through this divestment. Why would they not do that?
Couple things here. Folks looking on the outside might be wondering some sort of practical application. I'll ask specifically about that. But recently, TikTok sent a message apparently to most of its users with a pop-up message, which shows you the access they have. But I also wonder about Instagram or Facebook and the power that they have also, and I don't know how that fits into this. But October 7th and the Hamas raid in southern Israel changed minds on this app. Explain how.
So the thing that people are not really talking about, which they should, is that over 60% of the content that is pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine content, it's actually generated in Bangladesh, Malaysia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and then it is actually amplified in TikTok users' feeds in the United States. So the majority of the anti-Israel content, it's actually generated and created overseas, and then the algorithm is tailored to push that content here in America. So that's one of the reasons that we're concerned, because we're seeing where this foreign interference, it's not actually generated here in the United States. It's not a reflection of the sentiment here in the United States. But think about the fact that in Israel, they have TikTok, and in Israel, they have manipulated the algorithm to show 90% of the sentiment is for pro-Hamas in Israel. Do you really think that Israelis after October 7th feel that that is the case? No, of course not. And of course, as you pointed out, there was a massive barrage of TikTok users calling our offices, most of them under the age of 15, crying, many of them in class. But the thing that was so telling to me was that just this time last year, the CEO of TikTok told my committee, Energy and Commerce, that they didn't have access to geolocation data. But it turns out that they tapped into the geolocation data of their users, and if you were in an Energy and Commerce Committee member's district, you couldn't use the app until you actually called through the app, and then they would unlock the features for you to use. So this is just a massive effort that has backfired, because what they say is that they don't do that, but their actions speak differently. And they say that they don't, but we know that they do.
Congresswoman, listen to President Trump. He was on Squawk Box on Monday saying this.
There are a lot of people on TikTok that love it. There are a lot of young kids on TikTok who will go crazy without it. Without TikTok, you can make Facebook bigger. And I consider Facebook to be an enemy of the people.
Is he wrong?
Well, in some respects, what this bill does is actually what President Trump's executive order years ago was all about, forcing a divestment. Again, it's not a ban. And I will say that for all the TikTok users that are out there, 96% of them are also on all those social media platforms. So it's not 100% accurate to say that just because you divest TikTok, that all of the other applications are going to suddenly get bigger and have more members signing up. That's not the case. Most social media members or social media users, they're on multiple platforms. So I think that that's a bit misleading.
Thank you for your time, and we'll watch the vote this hour. Pat Cammack, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.